Okay. What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp, and welcome to the very first edition of Pick Me with Pearl. My co-host today is, of course, the arbiter of the Just Pearly Things channel. That, of course, is Pearl Davis. Pearl, how you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, of course. Now, a lot of my audience is familiar with you, because of the fact that you and I have done a couple of live streams together. But you've been on Fresh and Fit before, and I think you've called to the Kevin Samuel show a couple of times. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, I've been on both.
Okay. What was your experience like doing the Kevin Samuels thing?
Oh, I was so nervous, to be honest. I was shaking because I was like, if I say the wrong thing,
Oh
I do
my
not want to
God.
go viral for the wrong reason. And I was very new to the red pill at that point when I called it.
Right. Did he ask you how tall you were and your dress size? Did you ever get to that point?
No, he just asked if I had he just asked if I had a boyfriend and how old I was.
Okay, all right. He doesn't typically, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. He doesn't typically ask white girls, how tall are you? What's your dress size? How much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself? So talk to me, Pearl, about how you found your way into the red pill space. Like I said, you were on Fresh and Fit. You and I have we've done a couple of live streams together. If you would accept my invitation to be a part of the all-female panel, with the exception of myself, every Saturday or Sunday, that would be wonderful. How did you find this community, and what about the red pill community made you say, you know what, I want to maybe explore this a little bit more?
Well, I started my channel with rap reactions.
Okay.
So I would do like the whitest girl on earth reacts to, and it would just be the most hood. Yeah, the most hood. I
Whitest
did
girl
get
on
my
earth.
my Love Sosa reaction went viral because I said, what did I say in it? I was like, oh, these guys would be a lot of fun to go to a party with, or like
Oh,
something
wow.
like that. But it
Okay.
was just like,
The
yeah, it
white
was
girl
just
wants to
like,
party with niggas. Oh, shit.
yeah, I don't know. People took it. It was just supposed to be funny, but
Of course not. Of course.
then my followers sent me Kevin Samuels,
Oh,
and the
wow.
first time I saw him, I really didn't like him, and I would like say this, yeah. If you
Okay.
look at my first reaction, I was not a fan.
Why were you not a fan? I'm just very interested to hear that.
'Cause it was his stance on cheating.
Hmm.
And that was one of the first things I saw. Which, if you listen more to him, I think his stance on cheating is actually a little different than like what it appears, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know Kevin very well,
Um,
so I'm aware what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, just but he was saying how high value men like have the right to cheat, or it was something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad's in the top like 0.5% of earners,
Yes.
so and my dad's a very like loyal person. And
Absolutely.
he's very people never believe me when I say my dad doesn't cheat on my mom, but I know my dad so well, he would never in a million years.
Not only that, let's just back up and talk about your dad just for a second. This was
Yeah.
something that I learned about your parents the first time we talked. So you are one of 10 siblings, but your parents adopted how many kids?
They adopted 3, they gave 1 up.
There you go, man. So your parents are good people. So they have 3 adopted kids, I think 6 or 7 of their own. What was your home? And we'll get back to your red pill origins. What was your upbringing like? 2-parent home. Talk to me about your home life as a kid.
Okay, yeah, so I grew up one of 6. I was the second out of the 6. I was the oldest girl. I grew up between 2 boys.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
Yeah, so when I was growing up, there was 6 kids in the house. Everywhere we would go was 6.
Mhm.
I didn't, and we would always have a nanny. So we did, like, my parents did have help.
Okay.
And they were typically like German.
Okay.
Not that that's that relevant, but yeah, they're
Well,
German nannies.
So now they were German nannies. Were they German American, like they were Americanized, or were they actually like from Germany?
It's called Au Pair in America. So it's a program where
Oh, an au pair.
yeah, so I grew up like we've probably had 20 plus au pairs. We would get a new one every year.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
So my dad was gone a lot growing up.
Okay.
So
okay.
I will say a lot of people want this lifestyle, but they don't know what it comes with.
Right.
And everything that you get in life has a cost. So it was really funny to me watching people like talk about how they want this lifestyle, and I'm like, look at, like, if you're that successful, you're gonna miss a part of your kid's childhood. It just is what
Yes.
it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
I say this all the
and
time, Pearl. Everybody
mhm,
wants to be, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with success and being a high earner, but there's a
mhm,
cost for everything. If you're a man
mhm,
and you're going to be a CEO or if you're going to be a high level guy, you
mhm,
got to understand if you're not home a lot, your kids probably aren't going to like you too much and your wife's probably going to
mhm,
have an affair. I mean, you'll probably have
mhm,
an affair or two. This is just the cost of success. So
mhm,
it's good that you understand, hey, you know what? If I'm going to be this boss bitch or this boss dude, there are costs to that. I didn't
mhm.
mean to interrupt, but go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely right. He worked 80 hours a week, probably
Woo!
my whole life. Yeah,
Holy
like
shit,
my
man.
dad is the hardest worker I've ever met. And I really didn't know him at all until I was like 16, to be honest.
Really?
And
Okay.
now, and the way I look at it, like some people this happens to, like I've met other kids with like similar situations. They get mad and like resent their dad.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
the way I look at it is like he did that, and now I can hang out with him as much as I possibly want.
Okay.
He
So
still
he's
just this
retired,
as an
obviously.
yeah. So I
Good.
can, if I wanted to, I could go like he let me live with him for a year. Like I can see him all I want now.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, so growing up, like it was cool, and like I had a really good childhood.
Okay.
My mom and dad, like probably they were around as much as they could. They never missed the big events, but when it came to like being driven to like school or like whatever, that was always done by like a nanny.
Okay. Very good. Excellent.
Yeah.
So let's jump back on the time machine. So what are you doing? So you're in the UK. Talk to my audience. Talk to my audience about where you are, what you're doing, what you do for a living, things of that nature, something that they wouldn't know.
Okay, so I'm getting my master's in psychology.
Okay.
In the UK, I'm playing semi-pro volleyball, and I
Okay.
play for the school.
Okay.
And yeah, and I do YouTube for work.
Okay.
So I worked in sales for 2 years, and then I quit that to go to the UK, which got delayed a year. So that was how I started on social media. Was
Okay.
I was jobless and living at home anyways,
Okay.
which was supposed to be 2 months, but
Okay.
that quickly turned into a year.
Okay.
And then I finally got to go now, so now I'm in the UK. And
Right. Okay. So you're
yeah.
getting a master's degree in psychology. Now, a lot of people would say, all right, this is another girl that's going to be, the I'm a PhD girl. What are your what do you hope to do with your master's, or is it really that important anymore?
I don't care about my master. I wanted to come and not get a master's, actually. I'm kind of mad I have to get one to come here, but like I really didn't want one because I don't think I need it.
Okay.
But yeah, I just got it so I could come to the UK, to be honest.
Okay. All right.
You need to, it's very hard to come otherwise.
Yes, of course. Unless,
Or
of
if
course,
there's
you're
a
just
way to
there on a
do it.
vacation. Right.
Yeah.
No,
If there's a way to do it, you guys could let me know. I couldn't figure it out. So
no, I totally agree.
yeah.
Guys, let's be respectful. Let's be respectful of the guests. I've opened up the chat to non-members. If there's too much trolling, I will close this motherfucker. So it is what it is. Let's go. Let's head back into the time machine. How did your mother and father meet? What was the basis for their relationship?
Oh, it's kind of a funny story. My mom's sister and my dad's brother were engaged.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
they both came down to Texas for the summer. I think my dad was living with his brother, and my mom was visiting her sister because she just got out of high school. And then, yeah, they met. My aunt and uncle broke up.
Oh,
And
wow.
then my parents, my mom got pregnant after 3 months.
Okay.
And they gave that baby up for adoption.
Okay.
So, like, he didn't grow up with us.
Okay.
She was only, like, 17 or 18.
Oh, wow. So she was very young.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they got married, like, 5 years later. But,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So they did it the right way. They decided, okay, listen, we're too young to be parents. Let's give the kid up for adoption so that the kid has a chance at a good life. Do you think they regret ever having done that? Or, I mean, I'm sure I don't know. What are their thoughts on that? Is there regret, or do they know they did the right thing?
Oh my gosh, it's such a unique situation because
Okay.
how many people get knocked up at 17 and marry that guy?
Yeah, right. Oh, right. Years later, right?
And then start, a multi-million-dollar business and have 6 other kids.
Wow.
Not many. That's very
No.
I mean, I think my mom thinks they did the right thing because he is fine.
Okay.
Like he's good. Like Greg, he lives in New York. he makes a lot of money. He's just got married. So I
Okay.
think they believe they did the right thing because it turned out okay.
Okay. Okay. Good.
So
Good.
yeah.
So you would say that. So you had a very good childhood growing up. You grew up in a
Yes.
2-parent household.
Hmm.
How do you think that affects you today in terms of the way you see the world and relationships? And I guess we'll bring this around to the red pill.
I've been told I'm very naive. That is a
I,
very.
I think, what, it's funny when you and I did the podcast together. I remember
Mhm,
thinking any girl who comes on my show and says, "Well, I didn't know this
mhm,
or I didn't know that," immediately my original reaction is stop the cap.
mhm,
But the more I talk to you, you talked about
mhm,
growing up in Wisconsin and sort of a rural area,
mhm.
people at your church, and then it hit me. I was like, "Oh, okay, so there are naive girls out there who are not privy to all of the shit show that is the
Mhm.
dating market of yesteryear." That was very
Well,
surprising to me.
yeah, I mean, I've seen some of it. Don't get me wrong. I've
Right.
seen like I went to college, like I've seen some of
Right.
it,
Okay.
but I just haven't seen it to this extreme. I've seen girls that maybe want a guy that makes, like more than them and is a little more driven than them, but the girl that was on my show, the Ring that you reacted to, that
Oh
was the
my
first time I've
god.
talked to a girl that delusional
I
or
could
a little
tell you were
older.
like, "What
Like
the fuck?" That
because
was
most
crazy.
people, the way it works is my friends would just date a guy for a couple of years. He makes a
Mhm.
little bit more money, is a little older, and they end up marrying them or breaking up with him and doing the same thing. It's not this crazy extremes you see on the internet in my world, anyway.
Right. No, dude, listen.
Yeah, yeah.
It's, oh my god. The look on your face, you're like, "Wait a minute." You even call, you're like, "Yo, like that's crazy." An 8 carat
Yeah.
$200,000 ring. Ay, ay, ay.
Yes. Yes.
What are your so now let's go back, and I promise I'm
Mhm.
going somewhere with this. What is your relationship with your father like?
Oh my god, my dad is like my best friend. I tell him
Okay.
everything. I love my dad. Is again, it wasn't always like this because when I was younger, I really didn't know him that well.
Okay.
But um my dad is like he gives me the best advice. I go to him about pretty much everything. I told him he could pick on my husband, but he doesn't want to. He's like, that is not my problem.
Oh wow. Wow.
He's like, I got enough stuff to do. I told him, I was like, you can pick him out, Dad. He's like, no, I'm busy.
No, of course, of course. Shout out to Real Femme Sapien. Ali V is in the house. I think Tallulah was also in the house. She says successful men
There you
are not
go.
often in the country. Life keeps them busy. Just like your father.
Yeah.
So your father is your best friend. How does that benefit you as a young woman?
Oh, it's great. He gives such good advice because he's just so like wise about stuff.
Okay.
Um, so I feel like if I have a problem or an issue, my dad is the one person I can go to who isn't emotional.
Okay.
Like he's just very logical and he's not gonna sugarcoat it and he's not gonna, make it sound nice. He'll just like tell me how it is.
Okay.
And
Good.
that's the real benefit. I think like men think a little more like that, where women we get involved in our feelings. Oh, but I
Uh-huh.
love him,
Right, right,
but
right. Well, listen, I mean, women filter their logic through their emotions. This isn't
yeah.
always a bad thing, but a lot of times that can get you into trouble.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: what are your thoughts on the red pill community as a whole? So you go on Kevin Samuels, you didn't like him at first.
Mhm.
What eventually brought you around to take interest in the RP community?
Um, Kevin Samuels definitely grew on me. So I thought that he gave dating advice that was actually realistic.
Okay.
Like the height, weight, dress size, and pretty privilege. Like all of that stuff was stuff that like I'd seen but never really heard anyone like be real and talk about.
Right.
They just say you're pretty at any size. You're like it doesn't matter what you look like.
Right.
Everyone's
Right.
beautiful,
Right. Right.
and
Right.
I just appreciated the honesty. Um, yeah, I would say Kevin Samuels. I'm trying to think of who else I really liked in this space. Um, your your tainted video. I saw that one.
Oh, that was fucking hilarious.
That was funny.
It was so funny. You're like, did he take a survey? Like, I thought it was so hilarious. It's like, there's no way this girl doesn't know this, but you really didn't. Like, it was
No.
just amazing to me that you just did not realize this.
No, I've never heard of that.
That was fucking
I've never heard
hilarious.
of that.
Watching you reacting to you reacting to me was probably some of the most fun that I've had. What qualms do you have with modern feminism? How does what do you agree with feminism? What don't you? What do you disagree with feminism?
Well, I mean, I agree that like women should have the right. I make jokes. I always say I want to give back my rights, but I don't actually mean that. Like I think women should have the right to vote. They should have the right to work if they want to. I really agree with like the freedom of choice and like people having the choice to do what they want. Where I disagree is I think that they lie to women. Like for example, they really like a slut march. Like what the hell is that?
Yeah, the slut
A
walk.
slut. Yeah, walk, whatever. I think that
Not a good look.
really no, and I think they really downplay like just you know the negative consequences that a lot of the choices that they promote have, and they're not honest about it.
No, they're not.
So the girls that are like 30, 35 and single will tell you that oh, they love their life, they're so happy, but there's just a part of you as a woman, you know they're capping.
Of course.
Just like we know a guy's capping when he says he gets all these girls and he doesn't. Like we can just tell. Like I feel the same way about women that say they're happy and they're not.
Yes.
And instead of just saying, look at these are the mistakes that I made, and this is how you can learn from them. They just say, oh, I'm happy and I'm glad I made all these choices, even though they're clearly not.
It's interesting, Pearl, and tell me if you've noticed this. Older women, and when I say older women, I'm talking about women Devin's age, women in their mid-30s. Older women don't seem to be interested in helping younger women live better lives. In other words, older women don't really put younger women up on game. If a woman is 45, 46 years old and she's been married twice and it's just been a wreck because of her own choices, she won't tell young girls, hey, listen, I made all the mistakes. I went after the bad boys, had a couple of kids with them. I shunned the nice guys. Now I'm 46. I'm alone. My kids hate me and their father. Don't make the mistakes I made. No, what they do is what you just said is, listen, I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I mean, I'm glad that I made these. Why is it that it seems that older women don't really want to help, sometimes even hurt younger women, but older men like myself are like, hey, come here, young buck, let me tell you how it really is. Have you noticed that, or am I just dreaming?
I have noticed that, and I think if I had to guess, I think that women are jealous creatures. I just think
Wow.
I think we're like naturally kind of jealous. Some more than others, right? It doesn't mean every girl you meet's rampantly jealous, but
Sure.
I think people a lot of times want to see you do good but not better than them. And like as a man, if you give a guy advice and you're 45, like you're probably doing better than him because like financially how on earth and like you know family wise whatever. But as a girl, if you're 45 and you got divorced and all this stuff, it's unlikely, not impossible, that you're doing better than the 22-year-old.
No, I totally agree.
And I think
go ahead.
Like what do they say, the number like that law of power, don't outshine the master.
Yes. Oh wow. Yes, that's right. Wow. Okay. And younger women outshine the master just by being younger women, right?
Younger.
So the 45-year-old woman isn't going to tell the 22-year-old woman, don't make the same mistakes I made, because she's kind of jealous that she Wow.
Because you look at you, like you could say don't make the mistakes I made to a 25-year-old guy.
Of course.
What are the odds he's doing better than you?
I mean,
I'm not saying you wouldn't give that advice,
of course.
But I'm saying like the majority, I think people like to I don't know, that feeling of being at like authority almost.
Sure. No, I get it. So Kevin was my mentor for a long time. Now he really doesn't have time to be. So Kevin Samuels was my mentor, and I was I'm like, dude, I had Myron Gaines on when nobody knew who the hell he was, and I'm happy for his success. Like he is, he shot up in the stratosphere. I have no problem with that at all. It brings me joy that he is doing as well as he's doing. I guess, is this a male, female? I guess females really are jealous of one another. I don't know.
Oh yeah, we definitely are. It's yeah, we are. Yeah.
Not much explanation needed there. What are some of the negative consequences of feminism? So we talked about the choices that
Mhm.
women we talk about some of the choices that women make. The world tells women, yes, go around, fuck
Mhm.
all the bad boys, get it out of your system, get married in your early
Mhm.
30s.
Mhm.
Clearly, feminism, the Sex and the City lifestyle, there are consequences that come with these choices. What are the consequences? What are the consequences that feminism is lying to people, lying to women about?
Um, I mean, you see it every day, like
Sure.
being alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the more guys you sleep with, like you can pair bond less,
Yes,
right?
that's
Like
exactly
it
right.
affects your ability to pair bond, and they don't talk about that,
Yep.
and they don't talk about how you're looked like you're lower value if you sleep with more
That's right.
guys.
That's
They just
right.
tell you sleep with as many guys as you want, and they won't be grossed out that you're a hoe. That's not true.
Not only
Um,
that, there's an emotional, and I'll put it to you
mhm,
like this. Tell me what you think of this theory.
mhm,
When every guy a girl sleeps with, it divides her soul, right? So a girl
mhm,
is a virgin, she sleeps with one guy, that guy gets 100% of her soul. He's the only
mhm,
one. Guy number two gets 50% of her soul. That's still a big chunk of
mhm,
her soul, but it's not 100%.
mhm,
Guy number three gets 33%. Guy number
mhm,
four gets 25%. Guy number five gets 20%. Guy number
mhm,
six gets 16.6%.
mhm,
By the time you get to guy number 30 or 40, it's
mhm,
almost like a girl has no more soul, no more love left to give because she has
mhm,
had the soul literally fucked out of her. What do you
mhm.
think of that? Do you think there's something to that? Would you add or subtract from that?
Um, I will say like I wasn't really ready for the level of like attachment when I lost my virginity because I was older when I lost my virginity.
Okay.
So I like wasn't ready for like how attached I would get. I don't think I was prepared for that, and I kind of wish somebody told me that before that happened.
Right.
But it was more like you're like older, like why,
Right. Right. Right.
but but I think that so yeah, I could see that, but I think it depends because I've also talked to girls who didn't really care about the guy they lost their virginity to. So I think
Wow.
it's more the like I've heard like I had one friend that was like, no, I got over that, like that.
Jesus.
So I when Rolo said something like it's the like the alpha widows or something, it's like
Oh,
the number
yes.
of alphas. I think that's more closer to what I've seen
Okay. All right. That makes
than
sense.
yeah, because I talked to a couple girls and they're like, no, I did not care like
I
at
guess,
all.
and here's the thing.
Yeah.
The reason why is because girls are losing their virginities to boys, right? If you're
Mhm.
15, 16 years old, 15,
Mhm.
16-year-old kid he's gangly. And of
Yeah.
course she doesn't give a shit about him,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
when you're a little bit older, the guy's a little bit more put together.
Yeah. Possibly. I don't know. But I can't say like in the case, the girl that I'm thinking of
Hmm.
that she gave more of herself to the first guy than the guy she was like obsessed with for years. Like
Gotcha.
he definitely had more.
Okay,
So
that makes
I
sense. So
don't
it's not
I
always
don't
that
know
makes sense.
exactly how it works, but
But you know what? It's interesting. You're absolutely right. And listen, man.
Mhm.
My theory, I
Mhm.
suppose, works in theory. But you're right. Let's say a
Mhm.
girl loses her virginity at 17 years old to an 18-year-old
Mhm.
kid,
Mhm.
basically.
Mhm.
She has a couple more little flings. The guy's 19, 20, 25, 20 years
Mhm.
old, maybe even a little older
Mhm.
guy. That girl, when she's 22, she's going to meet a guy who's 28 who has the shit together. He's kind of a bad
Mhm.
boy. That's the guy that's going to have her soul because he fucks her better.
Mhm.
He's a little more well put together. He's the hottest guy she's ever been with.
Mhm.
And when that situation goes awry, she's not thinking
Mhm.
about the guy she lost her virginity to. She's thinking of
Mhm.
that guy. That makes perfect sense. I
Well,
didn't think of that.
that's something that I saw that was true in the red pill, like the alpha widow thing.
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
just noticed there's like always that one guy that girls seem to like not be able to get over. I noticed that really often in college, and I told
Yes.
the story on Tortia's podcast,
Hmm.
but in particular, like one girl that I knew. Dated this guy for a month and he like already cheated on her. I'm like, already? I know you don't think it's cheating. I do. But but I was like, you can't a month? A month, sir? But anyways, I was like, you can't even like god damn. But anyways, she ends up like moving on dating this new guy and she would always cheat with the old guy with the
There it is.
even though and he like bought her a house. The guy came to a party like late and she slept with the old guy like in the bathroom before he got there. I saw it. I was like, what the? Because I saw them leave the bathroom
Wow.
together. I was like, she did not. but
Is
it's
she
kind of
still with?
awkward.
Is she still with the dude who's the simp?
Oh gosh, I haven't talked to her in years. I don't know.
Mm-mm-mm.
She's not the girl you would expect. Like, she wasn't a big drinker, wasn't a big
Of course not.
partier. She was just like that one guy.
Yep.
Um,
There's always
and
one.
yeah, I don't remember, but yeah.
Wow.
Let me look. Actually, I could check.
The point is that this is what we talk about. There's always that one guy. There's always that one guy, just like Rollo talks about, being alpha widowed, and it could be for any number of reasons.
She is still with him.
Oh, she's still with the dude that she fucked around on.
I just checked.
Oh boy, wow.
Together.
How much do you want to bet the guy she never got over is still fucking her?
I think that guy moved, actually. I think he probably could, but
Of course.
I don't think he lives in the area anymore. But
Okay.
oh my gosh, yeah, that guy was wild.
He probably still fucks her. Yeah, that's probably what
probably,
it is.
yeah.
Dorian Johnson with the $5 super chat says, Pearl, the difference for men is that we have to have the proof before having our advice taken seriously. Why is it that women don't have to have a track record of success for everyone to take their advice? Like when I give advice, guys, they fact check. All right, listen, Donovan is financially secure. Donovan has, experience with women. I can't just come on and say, hey, I'm this, big red pill alpha male type. No, like I've been in this community for 8 years. My track record speaks for itself. Whereas if a woman comes into this space, all of a sudden not even this space, any space, women just have their advice taken as gospel. Why is that?
Oh, because girls preach to girls and girls like what sounds nice.
Oh, yes, there we go. Yes, they do.
Girls don't typically like the truth, I think.
Girls don't like the truth if the truth is hard to hear, right? This is why girls take advice from their single slutty friends rather than their friends who are in good solid relationships. If Devin were to give advice to a girl who's having problems with a guy, the advice that she gives that girl, that's going to be very hard advice to follow because it actually requires some effort. But her single slutty friends, oh yeah, get back on Tinder, cheat on him, let him know you have options, blah blah blah, etc. etc.
Yeah, I don't relate to a lot of girls. And I know the manosphere hates when I say this because they'll be like, oh, she's not like other girls. But
Sure.
I really don't, because the girls I tend to like are the ones that are like fun, because I like high energy people, but I never agree with anything they say. I always think they're like so full of nonsense.
You're very similar to Allie in that you do listen. We know that women filter their logic through their emotions, but that doesn't mean that women can't be more logical than other women. Because you're a young woman, you're 25, Allie is 26. So I'll give you 3 perfect examples. So you're 25, Allie is 26, Tori is 28. Tori seems to be the most emotionally immature of the 3 of you, and she's the oldest. That probably has to do with the fact that she is the most attractive of you 3. Even though you're younger, you think of things more logically, but not only the aesthetic beauty of Tori sort of hindering her mental maturation process. Sometimes girls are just a little bit different. This doesn't mean you're special. This doesn't mean you're unicorns. But when I talk to you and I talk to girls like Allie, I can definitely tell. Okay, they're women, but you guys think a little bit more logically than the typical woman. Well,
we're 50% of the population. Women.
Shit,
so how
that,
could
right?
it not be different, you know?
Right, exactly. Javier Montez with the $2 super chat says he agrees. Here's a question I'd like to ask you. Why did you wait so long to have sex? Was it a choice that you made, or did you never have the opportunity? I mean, because you're attractive enough, right? So what happened?
I really wanted to wait till I was married, actually. I really regret not doing that. That's like the one thing I like genuinely regret.
Okay.
But I really I don't know. I was impatient, to be honest, because I just felt like I wasn't meeting anyone, and I really liked this one guy. So yeah, that was kind of how it happened.
Okay.
But,
all right.
Yeah, I grew up Catholic, so I went to Catholic school.
Oh, wow. So did Devin. She went to Catholic school for a short time.
12 years.
Oh, she did not go to Catholic school for 12
Yeah.
years. I think she probably went for 5 or 6 years. I can't really think of
Yeah.
that. We'll keep this high and tight, Pearl. Tell my audience who you are. Tell them what your subject matter is and what you hope to accomplish in collaborations with myself and the other ladies.
Okay, so my name's Pearl.
Uh-huh.
I'm 25 and I live in London. I do reactions to Red Pill and rap music videos on my channel. And I hope to accomplish, I just hope like to give good advice to younger women because
Okay.
I think there's a lot of nonsense out there. And I think there's advice like I needed to hear when I was 18, but I
Right.
didn't. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. It's funny. You sound like you're an old woman. You're like, oh, I wish I had advice way back when I was 18. Chick, you're only 20. You're only 25. You got
No,
some
I
time.
know. I always say I think I had my epiphany phase at 22. I like did everything you're due at 20. No, I swear to God, I stopped.
Wow.
I stopped drinking. I stopped. I did all the stuff that Rolo like talks about.
You
At
stopped that a
28
lot
or
earlier.
whatever. Yeah.
Wow. How about that?
Yeah.
God damn.
I think I was just very heartbroken. So I was like,
Heartbreak will definitely do it to
yeah.
you. Heartbreak.
Yeah.
Geeky Anomaly says you're in London. You and Tallulah could do a meetup. Yeah, absolutely.
I think we're going
they could.
to.
Yeah,
I've messaged her about it.
Yeah, absolutely. She is Pearl Davis. She is going to, so we're going to do a weekly show at this time every week. Hopefully, if you can squeeze in some time, I'd love to make a live appearances on your show. Pearl is also going to be a part of of my weekend all-female panel show. I've decided to nickname the show Not All Women.
Oh, I like that. That's clever.
Not all women are like that. Just to kind of troll some people. So as it stands right now, obviously it's going to be yourself, Devin, Tallulah, Ali V, and Janelle Gordon. And then, of course, I will be the moderator. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have girls in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. And then, of course, you'll have an old man here in my 40s moderating everything. You guys are going to be the stars of the show. I'll add some content, but I really want you guys to be able, and my goal is the same thing as your goal. I hope to, obviously, want to build my brand and expand everything, but I want to help young women, like I've helped out guys, and I'm never going to stop helping men. I am team man first, but I think if we can get the message out there, if we're teaching men how to be red pill men, and I've stopped using the word alpha males, but yes, we're teaching men to be high value men, but we got to teach girls out here how to get these high value men. Okay, so you've made some mistakes. You're in your early to mid 20s. Here's how to hit the brakes and really sort of recover your life. Does that sound about all right to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think like one thing, I really think quitting drinking was really good for me. And
Really?
I really recommend girls doing that as soon as they can.
Why is that?
Yeah. One, I've had like guys take you a lot more seriously when you tell them you don't drink. That's not why I did it.
Holy shit.
But it's like actually kind of funny, like the looks, I don't know, guys will give you when you tell them that. It's like very, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, like it's always like a bonus. And then the second thing is you're never going to regret not drinking. So I think if you drink a lot, like there's at some point you've done something dumb, whether it's like, I'm just saying like,
yeah, you're right.
At some point, like odd probabilities.
Sure.
Like, oh my gosh, getting too drunk and like saying something stupid or like whatever.
Streaking or whatever, stealing a road sign right.
And if you wait long enough, you start to feel drunk. It doesn't make sense. Okay.
Yeah.
But that like the reason like I used to drink was because I liked that like hyper, like that fun feeling you get.
Sure.
But if you just wait long enough, you get that. And I think it's because of the energy in the room and like you start to get a little tired. And so you could still have that and be like logical and like not make stupid decisions. So one, I think guys will take you more seriously, and two, I don't know, you're just not going to do anything you regret. Okay.
I like that. That is something I did not, and I've never really been told that, but that makes perfect sense. When you tell guys you don't drink, they take you more seriously. So someone asked Devin on the live stream yesterday, why do you wear a wedding ring? And I mean, her answer was in part, well, it's sort of a sword and a shield. Like with, if we're out or I'm in one aisle, you're in another, people assume that I'm married and that, that just, they know that I'm off limits. But the first reason she gave is that people treat you with more respect when they see that you have a wedding ring on. I had I've known Devin almost 6 years. I had no idea that was the case. Do you agree with that? Like when women are looked to be married, they get treated with more respect, almost like with the non-drinking thing.
Yeah, I would say yeah. I would say especially in this space, you definitely need a level of credibility if you're married to a guy that you value.
Absolutely.
And then on top of it with the drinking thing is you have to stick to it though. You cannot like if you give your friends or whatever an inch to work with, like that, oh maybe no, you have
I'll
to
just
be
have the
firm.
beer. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you have to mean it. And it can't just be to have guys take you more seriously. Like you have to have a more of and the other reason is you don't get fat. I look better than most of my friends. Like I was gaining weight faster than them. But I've stayed the same weight since I stopped drinking and I was gaining it before. So
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're 25, you're actually quite active. You play basketball and volleyball, so that's good stuff. Very good.
Poor eating habits, though, so not as much as I'd like.
Well,
but
listen, man. Look,
I love sugar. That's my problem.
Oh, my God, dude. We are dude. Oh, my God. I love... dude, oh, my God. Sugar is my first love. Like, that's
me, too.
Oh, my God.
Everyone's got a vice. I will say drinking used to be my vice when I was younger, but I was able to kick that. Sugar... I just love ice cream. I love it.
Oh my God,
it's
dude.
So
Ice
good.
cream, cake, cookies. Oh my God.
Cookie dough. Do you like cookie dough?
Oh my God.
Love cookie dough.
I'm triggered. I'm fucking triggered. Geeky Anomaly says alcohol is technically a sugar. Yes, that's why we gain weight.
I liked it. Yeah.
God.
That's why. Yeah. Luckily, I don't like the taste of alcohol, so it made it easier to stop.
See, every once in a while, I will go on a kick. Like I'll get a 750 milliliter bottle of whiskey, and I'll go through it in like a week. But I do notice that when I don't drink, I always feel and sleep better. Like I'm just, that's just how it is. That's very interesting that you're very, very poignant on, listen, I stopped drinking and it improved every part of my life, including guys taking me seriously. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, no, I love not drinking now. And you can still, it doesn't mean you can't. I will recommend when you first start drinking, I moved. I had this whole plan. I moved from Chicago to Milwaukee. They're both drinking cities, but in Milwaukee, I picked friends that specifically didn't drink so I wouldn't be tempted.
Oh, wow.
And Chicago was far enough so like I wouldn't go.
Okay.
So you kind of have to take yourself out of the environment at first, but once you get to the point where it's like you get strong enough, you can go back and still go out. I'd recommend like taking yourself out of those situations at first, but like it doesn't mean you're gonna not be able to go to anything.
No, I got you.
That's kind of what I thought at first.
Tallulah, bless her heart, says her vice is dark chocolate, great for caffeine yet healthy. Yeah, Tallulah looks fantastic. That makes yeah, listen, her vice is dark chocolate. Dark chocolate's actually good for you. Love Tallulah. She is the best. She's the best.
Thin for sure.
She's in phenomenal shape.
She should give me tips, to be honest.
Hey, you guys are in the same city. Oh, look, Dre Raven says dark chocolate has more antioxidants too. I'm trying to tell you. Devin also likes dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Well, dark chocolate is good for you. But look, I hate to spoil it, but milk chocolate is better, isn't it? Listen to us sugar fiends. We're like, dark chocolate's good for you, but milk chocolate is better.
Cookie dough is my favorite dessert, though. That's my favorite. Dude. That's the vice.
Dude. Oh my God, dude. See, now I'm getting triggered. Back when I was a fat kid, I used to love Oreo. I still love Oreo cookies. Oreo cookies is the toxic ex-girlfriend. I can't not text back. I know she's bad for you. I'm red pill aware. I know if I go back, she's going to turn my life upside down. Fuck it, I got to text back. Oreo cookies are just my...
Everybody's got a vice. Everybody. I don't care who you are. Everybody's got a vice.
Well, my vice used to be cocaine when I lived in Vegas. That's why I had to get the fuck up out of... Yeah, that's why I had to get the fuck up out of there. Pearl, this was fun. I think that... I think that you and I are going to do some very good things. I think the panel show is going to be a home run. Very much looking forward to that. Tell the people where they can find you.
Okay, so my Instagram is just.pearlythings.
There you go.
And then my YouTube is also just Pearly Things, but there's no dot. It's just Pearly Things.
Just Pearly Things. Okay.
And then my TikTok is the same. So it's just Pearly Things.
Perfect. Next week, I'm gonna have your links scrolling across the bottom of your screen so that they are always present. Yeah, Blackmail Media says, I know her from Torsha channel. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you do collaborations with Tori. I think you actually just recently did one, didn't you?
I did one today.
Yeah. See, so she did one with Tori. So go over there and check out Tori's. Listen, subscribe to Tori. Subscribe to Pearl. Two very, very, very good channels. Subscribe to Tallulah, and definitely subscribe to Ali V at Real Feminine, Real Fem Sapien. Jesus Christ, I got to get all you guys. I got to get all you guys' stuff straight. Pearl, thank you for making time for us, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, thanks for having me.
No problem. Bye.